After 35 years apart, two lifelong friends are reuniting to embark on an exciting journey of laughter, reflection, and heartfelt conversation. Welcome to the Reality Check podcast, where hosts Jen and Joe dive deep into the topics that matter most, exploring the nuances of life with humor and sincerity. Whether it's sharing personal anecdotes, tackling current events, or sparking thoughtful discussions, this dynamic duo promises to engage your emotions and challenge your perspectives. Join us as Jen and Joe reconnect and invite you into their world, where every episode is a chance to laugh, cry, and think a little deeper. Get ready for an unforgettable experience filled with warmth, wisdom, and a touch of nostalgia. This is the Reality Check Podcast.
Okay, we are back with episode 5, and we are so excited here at the Reality Check podcast because not only are you joined with me, Jen, and the lovely, vivacious Joe, but we are so super excited today because we are joined with one of my best little cherubs, Casey, and she is joining us to tell us about her journey with 75 Hard and CrossFit. And so we're really excited to hear about it. So, Joe,
Welcome.
over to you.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Welcome. It's super exciting that we're on episode 5. When we started this 5 weeks ago, said we would barely get to 1.5. So the fact we're on 5, we've had 3 guests, all really good quality guests. I mean, Casey, you have a lot to live up to today, being the third guest out of 5. I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on, but let's start off like we usually do and just kind of talk about the weekend. Casey, what'd you do this weekend?
Oh gosh. I definitely cleaned my house, like deep cleaned. It was very refreshing. I gotta tell you that. Sunday, I went to bed with clean sheets and the vacuum lines were perfect on the carpet. So that was a good day. I
So
gotta
did
say.
you listen to our podcast last week?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, you should have, because Megan Rose talked all about cleaning, and
Oh,
allegedly Jen was going to get into the cleaning as well this weekend after listening to the podcast. So I'm waiting to hear if she talks about her cleaning. Based on her facial expression, I'm guessing there was no cleaning done with hummus stone at her house.
hummus
Um,
stone.
yeah, you've never heard of hummus stone until you've come on this podcast. It is super exciting. Hummus stone cleans your toilet, in case you're wondering.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
gonna have to look into it.
Yes.
It's actually pumice stone, but
Oh,
he makes up whatever he wants to do.
that's
fair.
totally fine. You
So
know what?
Jen,
We're
did
here
you
for
clean?
it.
Did you clean, Jen?
I didn't.
Oh,
I meant to. But then there was like this thing where my bed was here and it was like, "Oh, don't you want to take a nap?" And I was like, "Oh, yes, I do." And so I took a nap, which our bodies need naps.
Joe's gonna be
So
disappointed in you,
who?
Megan Rose.
She
She's
won't.
gonna. You could have hired her while you were sleeping.
Well, that's the thing. She's not going to be disappointed with me because she's going to say, "See, you need me. You should probably hire me." And
$15
then,
an hour.
no, she's more than that.
It's more than
What about you, Joe? What'd you do?
Work, work, and work every weekend. Never a dull moment, and it was exciting this weekend. Yeah, I won't get into details because once again we protect the innocent. But I do security at a local fun country bar here in Rochester on Friday and Saturday nights, and there's always some excitement toward around 1 o'clock hour every weekend. So it's a good time. It's good
I've seen
bands,
some
good co
interesting things.
Oh yeah, nobody was cleaning this weekend for sure. But no, it was a good time. It was a good time. Um, all right, into our weekly national days of the week. And I'm super excited because we have Casey on, and we're talking about health and fitness and all those cool things. And accidentally on purpose, I guess, 4 of our 5 national days have to do with food. And typically, I'm a super picky eater. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to say 2 of the 4 days, probably not for me. Um, But I'll be interested to kind of get some feedback on if these are things you would eat, either one of you, if these are things that would help with a diet, with with just your daily routine. So today, February, November. Clip that out. I'm all the way down to the end of the year. February 20th. Yeah, I was super excited about February 24th being November 24th. February 24th is National Tortilla Chip Day.
Ooh,
So I love tortilla chips. Those are
I love
healthy. Corn
Yeah.
tortilla chips, very healthy.
Oh.
So we'll get into that. Go ahead.
Well, I
And
love.
me,
Oh, sorry. I was gonna
I'm
say I
sorry.
love tortilla chips. I work at Frito-Lay, fun fact, and I have them at my disposal. I'm not allowed to eat them right now. Okay, but
Wait, you're
on a
not
good
like
day.
right now while we're on the podcast, or right now because you're doing your challenge?
Because I'm doing my challenge, so
Oh.
chips are out of the question. But
I feel
on a
like you can eat
day,
them right now, though. We took a break. It's a hiatus.
yeah,
Oh, wait.
there's no breaks.
Can we get free Frito-Lays?
Sometimes we get like free samples every once in a while. Like when the new products come out, there's a before they like hit the market, they get shipped to like the DCs. So
All right,
I'm thinking what I hear, Joe, is that when
sponsorship.
she gets new products,
you can try them out. Yeah, I can definitely.
we
I
need to
can
try
hook
them
you
out
guys
too.
up. I have some lovely guacamole Doritos right now that are sitting in my office that are supposed to be hitting the market soon. Well, not soon, probably like 6 months, but
What can you get them to sponsor us? Frito-Lay to sponsor us?
it would be me. So I would be the face.
Russia's
Yes.
gonna love us. Casey is sponsoring. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't even talk. This is so exciting. All right, November. No, jeez.
Man, what's
February
Stop.
25th. I'm struggling. Struggle bus today. National Clam Chowder Day tomorrow.
Clam chowder too. I
You
love
love
clam chowder. Yes.
gross.
New England clam chowder, mind you. Not the Boston.
What's the difference?
I think one's like soupier and one's like creamy. The New England I know is creamy. It's white. So good. Well, I like it.
Isn't Boston in New England?
I think so. I don't know why they have two different chowders, man. I just live here.
One of them's red, right? And one of them's white.
I think so, yeah. The red one's like more, it's not as like creamy, I don't think, as the New England. But I'm a big fan. I actually, fun fact, I try anytime I go out to a restaurant, they have New England clam chowder. I always have to get it just to try it out and see where the best one is.
Where's the best so far?
So far, it's the Talisman in Syracuse. Or the Craftsman. I think it's called the Craftsman or Talisman. One of those two. It's amazing. It's like a deconstructed clam chowder. It's very, very bougie, but it's good.
So far we've had two fun facts with Casey, and we haven't even topped the 5 days. She works at Frito-Lay's, and she tries clam chowder everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
New England clam chowder, just for clarification.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Wednesday, February 26th, National Pistachio Day.
Okay. I love pistachios too. You're really hitting all the boxes.
Fun fact, Casey loves pistachios.
I was just eating them for a snack today. I can have those. So
this is your week.
Yes.
This is your week.
For real. I didn't know all these days existed.
I'm pretty sure the next one you're good with as well. So Thursday, February 27th, National Strawberry Day.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
My favorite fruit by far.
That's elite. Fruit. Yes. Yeah. The strawberry's elite in comparison.
Yeah. And last but not least, Friday has nothing to do with food, but after you eat all that food, it's National Public Sleeping Day. So you're both like, we'll both sleep in public. Fun fact, I sleep in public every day. Fun fact. So crazy National Week, but yeah, it's pretty cool that we're having a guest that's going to be talking about health and well-being. And 4 of the 5 days happen to be, fun fact, things you love. And they just happen to be the week of you being our guest. So Jen, I'm going to turn it over to you. You can formally introduce us to Casey, our exciting guest, and we'll take off for a little bit of fun.
Well, before I do that, I do have to say, because I didn't get to say, I celebrated National Tortilla Chip Day today,
Oh, did you go to Chili's?
and I didn't even know it. Yes, I went to Chili's.
That's the best way to do it.
So hold on. We're gonna dive into this before we get to know you, Casey, because every time I talk to Jen, or anytime I'm texting with Jen, I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you?" "Well, we're at Chili's." I feel like they own stock. You would think that
Now Jen's
basically
always at
what I
Chili's.
said in slow motion was that Jen should own stock in Chili's because every time I talk to her, every time I text her, she's at Chili's earning her points to eat her nacho tortillas and her salsa for free. And when I brought her special hot dogs from Messina, she met me at Chili's and she signed me up for tortilla chips and salsa free. And we don't even have them as a sponsor, which I do not understand. So that's what I was getting at. And I'm a little bit upset by this, but I'm not shocked you went to Chili's. Seriously, not shocked.
It's been a while since I've been at Chili's. Let me
Since
just say.
yesterday. Since yesterday.
No, been a while. And you text me and talk to me way more than I visit Chili's. But I will admit that I do visit Chili's a lot, so much so that most of the wait staff doesn't really have to ask us what we want. So,
So you're a regular. You're a Chili's regular. I love
we're
that.
pretty much, yes,
Is it
we
your
are.
favorite restaurant, Jen?
It's not my favorite restaurant, but it's my kids' favorite restaurant. And so we go there a lot.
Understandably so. I haven't been to Chili's in a really long time.
Don't worry, if
Well,
you go, Jen can get you free chips and salsa anytime you want. She will
I'm
sign
hitting
you
you
up
up.
with your phone number. Yeah, just hit her up. You anytime you want to go. Free chips and salsa on Jen.
Love it.
we got this. All right. So, without further ado, I have got to introduce you guys to this young lady on our podcast. So, Casey and I met, oh gosh, what is it? Like over a year ago.
I think it's 2 years.
2 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah, it's about 2 years. So, Casey and I met because this is such a great story. So, it's actually because I met her husband because I was at CrossFit on a Saturday. Now, what you don't know is most people come and start CrossFit on a Saturday. Fun fact, don't ever start CrossFit on a Saturday, at least in our gym, because Saturdays are really hard partner workouts. So her husband comes in, and so I'm like, oh, hey, I'm like Little Miss Ambassador. Hello, welcome, all these things. So I'm like, well, I'll be your partner. And so we partner up. Okay. So it's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 rounds of whatever we're doing. It involved like burpees and just a lot. So, and I said to him, okay, just like do what you can. You know, we'll break it up. However, I'll pick up where you don't want to go or whatever. And so we get like, I don't know, I think it was like round 4 or something. And poor Adam is about to just die. Like he's on death's door. So he goes and sits down. I finish the workout. He's sitting over here. I'm like keeping an eye on him. I'm like, dear God, I've killed him. He's never coming back. He is never, ever coming back. So I go over and I try to like give him this pep talk, like, listen, you have to give it more than today. You're going to feel like you're dying. You're not dying. I promise. Just give it a week. Please don't give up today. So, sure enough, um, our coach, Teresa, tells me, oh, yeah, he did come back and sign up and he brought his wife.
Yep.
And so that's how our little journey began. And so, um, I'll let you take it from there and just kind of give us a little bit more background on how you kind of fell in love with CrossFit and how you are where you are right now.
Yeah, well, I remember that day vividly because Adam came home from the like Nova that day and was like, I got my ass kicked by this diesel girl at the gym. She just whipped my butt, and he was like, I was literally dying. I thought I was dying, and I was just laughing. I'm like, yeah, well, like that's CrossFit. So we don't do these things at him. And then he's like, well, I'm going back, and I was like, you're going back? And he's like, yeah, and you're gonna come with me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I wanted nothing to do with it. Truthfully, I was like, that's not for me. That's not my style. I don't think I'll be happy doing that. And then we started on Monday, so we went back and started immediately that week. And it was like a long time. Started doing like the 3 days a week, and it was gradually like I was getting in there, getting acclimated, learning all the movements because CrossFit, if you have never done it before, it's like a foreign language. There's just so many different things that they do in movements and things that you really have to like do them correctly or you could hurt yourself. So we were learning all that. And then I honestly was going there for like probably 2 years or so. It's like this year or up until 2024. And I was just kind of going through the motions, just showing up when I wanted, not really going consistently. I wasn't getting any results. I kind of was like frustrated. Like I was like, oh, I really thought when I started going, I was just gonna get like diesel and like become this like image that I wanted to become. And that was not the case. And then probably around like July of 2024, I was just like, okay, we are going to try something different because obviously what you're doing is not working. And that's when I got really serious about what I was eating every single day. And then I started showing up to the gym every single day. And I really fell in love with it because I started seeing the changes in my body and the changes in my self-esteem and the changes in my confidence and the way I was feeling. I had so much more energy. I was so happy. I was just like waking up every day before my alarm, something I've never done before. That was a first. So it really was just quite the journey. And then fast forward to today, I did the nutrition challenge at the end of last year, which was awesome. Like it was with the community with a bunch of people. So that was a lot of fun and that I had a lot of success in that. And then I started doing 75 hard probably like mid-January. And I started doing that because of the people at the gym too. And it's just really, I just like fell in love with it and I'm kind of like addicted now, I would say. So that's the journey and that's why we do that.
So I watched a little bit of your 75 hard journey today. And I was like, I can't even do 75 steps to the fridge, let alone 75 gallons of water or 75. Like the stuff you're doing are crazy items, and to be able to maintain focus and dedication to that is amazing. Can you talk a little bit about what it is for the audience to know exactly? I joke a little bit about the water, but it's not a joke. Like it's 75 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you could just share a little bit about that and what that journey's been like for you and maybe like what some of the hiccups you've had, if you've had any or chances to have a hiccup and maybe you've been able to overcome that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So the 75 hard challenge is basically there's a CEO of First Form, which is a nutrition supplement company, and his name's Andy Frisella, and he's the one who he also has a podcast that he runs, and it's very I'd say aggressive. It's a little aggressive on the aggressive side, which is fine. But he's like very straight to the point. Like, this is what, if you want this, you do this and you stay consistent, you stay disciplined, and then you get the results. And he wrote a book called 75 Hard. And I borrowed it from someone at the gym. I read it and instantly it like really resonated with me. But in the book, he talks about what the challenge is. And there's 5 different pillars. So there is working out twice a day. So one 45-minute workout like you can do in a gym, and then the other one's a 45-minute workout outside, which is pretty intense when it's been as cold as it has been here in upstate New York. And then you stick to a diet every single day. There's no cheating, so there's no cheat meals. There's no, hey, I'm just going to have a snack here or a snack there. You have to stick to a diet and keep that for the full 75 days. Like you said, you had to drink a gallon of water every single day. So ends up being 75 gallons of water, which is wild. I never actually like thought about it that way, Joe. So now that you say it like that, I'm just like, geez, that's a lot. And then you have to read 10 pages of a self-improvement or like a nonfiction book every single day. And then the last one is to take a progress picture every day, which that one's not really a problem for me since I videotape my life, every day. But those are the 5 things. And then you were saying like how if I've had any hiccups going through it. And honestly, I was off to a really, really good start. And then I have two kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they get sick pretty much like every other week. And they got the stomach bug, which then turned me into the stomach bug. And then they got the flu, and then I got the flu. So it was like probably like a 10-day stretch where I felt like crap going through this, and I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to drink any water. I didn't want to get out of bed. But through that, I just was like, you know what? You said you were going to do this, so get up and do it. Get up and go for your walk. And it turns out, surprisingly, if you were watching my videos, you would see I talked about it a little bit. I felt a lot better after
Yeah.
getting out of bed and moving my body. I was like, oh my God, I can like, I'm not as sore anymore, because you know when you have a fever, you just
Yeah.
like you have the aches, you don't want to move. So after I got my walk in, I was just like, oh, you know, I feel a little bit better. Maybe I can go make myself a meal now and get some protein in. Maybe I can drink some water. And it those are the biggest challenges. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been enlightening.
Well, I think you said too, right? Like if you had a situation where you had a hiccup, right? You just start the 75 days over, right?
You
Like,
do,
didn't you say,
yeah.
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 So, it's
So
okay to have a hiccup. It's just realizing like you could be on day 15 and be like, well, you just lost 15 days. Now you're going to drink
yeah.
90 gallons of water because you just drank yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty cool takeaway as well, from that.
Yeah, in the book, he even goes as far as saying like you could be on day 74 and you forget to take your progress pic. He's like, guess what? You gotta start over because you messed up and you didn't stay consistent. You didn't stay disciplined. So, and I think it's a really valuable like lesson for life in general, right? Because to do anything, you have to stick with it and actually do it to get the results that you want.
What are the results you get from the 75?
So for me, actually what my goals are is to lose more body fat and gain more muscle and become more strong. So I can do things in the CrossFit gym that I can't do today. So that's the goal. And as of so far, I actually like did my first in-body scan since I started the journey. And that is where you like step on a scale and it measures how much body fat you have, how much skeletal muscle you have. And I actually, since January 7th to today, I lost 3% of body fat and gained 5 pounds of skeletal muscle, which is absolutely insane. So I would definitely say that the 75 hard works. Like if you stay
Cool.
consistent, you'll hit your goals. So
Very cool.
pretty excited about that. Good day today.
So awesome. Congratulations. That I
Thanks.
know how hard that is and how hard you have worked. And for me, like the way my brain works, it's always all or nothing. I I try really hard not to be that way, but it is. So like I think that I can adapt to 75 hard when it's time to do that because that's how I work all the time. Like if I am doing an eating plan and like it's breakfast and I screwed up at breakfast, I'm like, well, the whole day is done.
Yeah.
Instead of like being like, okay, well, get better at lunch. Nope. Oh, the whole day's done. We got to start over.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would like not want to start over again like that. So I would want to like stick with it because even if you didn't have to technically start over, I would totally start all over again.
Yeah.
Just because that's the way my brain works. It's kind of weird. And Joel will tell you he thinks it's really weird.
Why don't I ask Casey about our very first show that we talked about starting over because she might do the same thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Casey, just out of curiosity, it doesn't have to be any special book, but if you're reading a book or doing a daily journal, right? And I'm not talking you writing it, but you're doing a daily journal that you're reading with quotes and whatever. And
And it
it
has a date.
says, yeah, I'm getting there. Settle down, sister.
Okay.
All right. This is my story, not yours.
Okay.
It's about you, but it's my story. Um, so if you were reading this book, right, and today is not November, it's February. I realize this now. It's February 24th, and you failed to read February 24th. Do you wait 365 days to start the book over? Or do you just read February 24th tomorrow and February 25th tomorrow to catch up?
I feel like I know what the answer Jen is going to say, but I would read the 24th and the 25th.
90% of most normal people would do the same thing. Not Jen. And on top of it, we're not just talking about any book. We were talking about Jen's Bible devotionals. So like the Bible doesn't change. Doesn't matter what day you read it. It doesn't change. But to Jen, if she did not read about Adam and Eve on February 24th, guess what? 365 days from now, that's when she's going to start reading about them again. So that's why she asked about her starting over. Yeah, if she messes up today, like this 75 heart thing, like if she messed up, she wouldn't start for another 75 days. She'd wait. She would be like, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter that I can start tomorrow. I'm going to wait 75 days and start fresh on the first day that will equal 75. That's how she would run it. So it's a good thing that she's not doing this with you, because she may pull you back and hold you back from doing anything on time because she's worried about the days.
Yeah.
So
well,
Okay,
respect.
now
Respect.
it is my turn, because let me tell you that there are people who agree with me.
there's a person.
A person who agrees
Kathy.
with me. Not just any person. No, it wasn't Kathy. It was your own sister.
Let's not talk about that.
Or, no.
It was
It
Kathy.
wasn't your sister. It was your neighbor.
Yeah, let's not talk about her either.
There's so many people in his life that when we do these little back and forth things and he thinks he's got it and he knows everything and he's the right one, they agree with me. They always agree with me.
It's only because I have a Y chromosome and I feel like it's not okay for people to have opinions with a Y chromosome. So that's what it is. So
yeah, that must be it. Maybe you better stop hanging around with so many girls, I guess.
Potentially.
Maybe.
So back to Casey, since we talked about yourself.
So tell us about some of the other things that you do. You have, before, 75 Hard and CrossFit, you did some other really cool stuff that I always loved to watch. Most importantly, lifestyle content creator. And so I definitely want to hear a little bit more about that, how you got started with that, and where that's going for you.
Yeah. So back in 2020, so TikTok, actually, it used to be called an app called Musical.ly or something like that. I don't know if you knew that, but I had that app on my phone, and then one day it just turned to TikTok, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. What is that? So we're like looking at it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, I'm never going to use this. This is like a child's app. We're just going to delete that off my phone. Like, I don't need it anymore. So then it started really picking up in 2020. Like, it started just skyrocketing. And I was like, okay, I got to give in. I got to see like what's going on here. People are getting like so much enjoyment out of it. And 2020 is also the year that my husband and I got married. So we had a whole backyard wedding. It was a whole
COVID
DIY
wedding?
Yes, COVID wedding. It was DIY.
Nice.
We did everything ourselves. I actually like planned most of it in 2 months, and that was crazy. We only spent 10 grand. It was a big success. So really, really proud of that. But I taped everything, like I videoed everything. So I had this video. It was it was the dumbest video I've ever made. I swear to goodness, it was me picking weeds. It got 4.5 million views. And I was just like, that's so strange. Like, why is that happening? And then after it picked up so many views, I started gaining all these followers, and they wanted to see the wedding and they wanted to see all these things. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna like try to stick with this and like see what can happen. I ended up getting to like probably around 50,000 followers, and then I kind of just got away from it. I was like, like I feel so silly like posting these videos. I just didn't feel confident in myself, so I was just kind of like hit or miss of like what I was actually doing. So I was never really consistent. And then I got really back into it because then I had gotten pregnant, of course, and then I had my babies. And then probably around last year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hone in and like actually try to like post 3 times a day. So I was like, from the month of July to like the end of August, I was posting 3 times a day, every single day. And most of it was DIY or lifestyle content. And I started picking up traction again. And then that's when I started making money off of content creation. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is really good money. Like, what have I been doing the last 3 years? So then I was like, okay, we got to stay serious about this and like get it done, because this could be life-changing money. So I stayed consistent and I kept growing and growing and growing. And then the DIY, if it's just like really hard to keep up with the DIY content because like you always have to start a new project. And as a mom who works in corporate America and tries to go to the gym and do all these different things, it's hard to do projects consistently. And plus they're expensive. So there's that as well. So I kind of started to steer away from that. And I was like trying to delve more into like something I know I'm doing every single day, something I can get content from every single day easily, which was the fitness and the more of a lifestyle and like healthy living and being a mom and things like that. So now that's kind of what my page is about, is just like life in general and like getting healthy and going to the gym and maybe some healthy recipes or post gym hair and things like that. But mostly probably things that women would relate to, but that's really where my page is now. And we've grown on TikTok to 75,000 or 76,000 followers. And then on Facebook, I gotten up to 45,000 followers, which is cool. So I'm pretty excited, and I'm hoping that by the end of this year, I keep growing and keep the ball rolling.
The great news is because you've joined the Reality Check podcast, that's going to grow by at least one from Russia. I know that for sure.
Yes.
Our one fan in Russia is going to be excited to follow you on TikTok and Facebook. I know this. I mean, they write into our show all the time about how much they love our guest and our work, and so
we don't know how to read
Yeah.
Russian, but someday we'll
fine.
figure it out.
You know
we'll
what?
know what it is.
That's why there's Google Translate.
Right. That's super cool though. That's super exciting. And we'll probably have to talk some offline on how maybe we can flip the switch and do some stuff, for the Reality Check podcast too, because great way to get followers, what you're doing. And if my editing team would be a little bit quicker, we probably would get more followers, but they usually take 72 to 96 hours to get complete. So but no, I think everything you're doing is awesome. Your stories are great. The COVID wedding, to pick it back up, when you said musically and TikTok, you're like, yeah, it's kids app, but I'm still gonna do it. Like, do you, man? Go do you.
Yeah. Yeah,
stuff.
we're learning that. It's been a long time coming where at first like I just felt so uncomfortable and silly. And now I think really what's changed is like I had kids and I've been through I've experienced some things now, and I'm just like, I don't really care what people think. Like if you don't like it, that's one more view and one more penny in my pocket. It's fine. So
I'm just curious about picking the weeds. Like I got to do some research on how that drew the attention.
Wait until you see this video. If you go, it's actually pinned at the top of my TikTok page. You're gonna watch this video and you're gonna be like, that's got 4.5 million views. That video is nothing. It was literally probably like a 15-second video too. I'm just like, oh, I'm doing a backyard wedding. First thing to do, pick these weeds, and then I pick them, and I'm like, stay tuned, guys. That's the video. Swear to God.
So, okay, so beyond picking the weeds, this girl has done her whole dining room in board and batten. She creates she redid her bathroom, which by the way is on the list for her to come over to my house and do my bathroom. But I have to clean my bathroom first before she can come in it.
With pumice stone.
Yeah. And she has what else? There's this really hilarious video of her trimming the hedges.
Oh yes, that was a good one.
Very funny.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
we call that mic'd up.
Yes, and the list goes on and on. You have got to watch this girl; it's great. So fun fact about Joe that he is very humble and modest, and he will not tell you. But this gentleman has lost about 100 pounds.
Wow.
And
awesome.
Yeah, and so he hooked up with a trainer, and he's put all the hard work in too. So I'm super proud of him, and I just wanted to give him a shout out too because he's worked really hard.
I love that. That's amazing.
I did CrossFit for the last year. It was a great time for everybody. No, it's close to 100. Jen rounded up a little bit. It's close to 100 in a year. So it's been a cool journey. It's been a lot of fun. I'm kind of maintaining right now just because of a job and a lifestyle right now where I'm not hitting the gym as much as I I was when I was working, or working different hours. But no, it's been good. It's when you change your lifestyle, I can appreciate the people that do it. It's definitely a dedication and a craft that you have to be committed to. It's not something you can do, halfway. You have to be all in. Um, and I didn't see the results physically for a long time, like when you're talking about like taking transformation pictures and stuff, even though the scale said stuff, I still look in the mirror and like, I don't really see it. When I started buying new clothes, like going from a 5X shirt to a 3X shirt, going from 56 waist to a 46 waist, going from a 26 neck to a 21 neck, like that's when I noticed it because it happened to be I was going to Jim Boeheim Gala and I got fitted for a tux a month before and it was a 7X tux. I went back to pick it up and it looked like I was like on the movie Big. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Big with Tom Hanks, the little kid with the
Yeah.
big clothes. The guy was like, "What happened to you? Like, you can't wear this week." Like, we went from a 7X down to a 4X in just a month.
Wow.
And mostly that was water weight. Like that's what guys typically carry is a water weight. And yeah, I'd lost 25 pounds in a month, and it changed the whole dynamics of the tux that I was renting. So yeah, I've been blessed, and Jen's been a big supporter along the way. She's tried to get me to a CrossFit, but like I said, I'll stick with CrossFit. I'm good at it. I know what the expectations are, and I don't turn down those opportunities. So
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. I love to hear that. I love hearing success stories. It's just gets me going. It gets me geared up and just like so excited for you and just in general, like when people like finally like it clicks for them, it's so life-changing, like you said. It's amazing. You just feel so much better.
yeah,
You do. And the other thing that I'll say is like for me having been sidelined for like 6 months. I mean, I've been sick so many times in that 6 months.
More
More than I would say in over a year prior. And I know that moving my body every day and exercising and eating right played into that so much. And then when all that gets cut off, different stuff happens to your body. But I mean, I've been sick more times since I haven't been able to go than, I can even remember. In fact, my boss commented the other day, like, why do you keep getting sick? Because like I'm never sick, and so I'm super glad to be back too, and I just can't wait to go crazy. So
I'm so excited that you're back as well. Because I was never so Jen, when I first started going to gym, her and my husband were in the 515 class, and it was like this very exclusive elite club. Okay. The 515ers are like a thing. So I went to 6:30. So I would come in afterwards and they would be like, 5:15, we had so much fun today. And then I finally started going to 5:15 and Jen wasn't there. I was like, gosh darn it, Jen, where are you? And now she's back and now I'm like, yes, it's like a true 5:15 class. I'm finally
I
getting the
mean,
experience.
yes, we made shirts.
Yes.
They said it's a 515 thing you would not understand, and you
Mhm.
really, I mean, you really wouldn't understand. Like, it's crazy. Today, I could not believe how many people were in that class. And I
Wow.
promise you, like, I remember back in the day when it was me, Mike, and Jeff.
Yeah.
That was the 515 class. And it just grew and grew. And it's
Mhm.
also really nice to see so many people, just like you said, committed to their health and their fitness and their wellness. And it just makes a huge difference. So,
so
yeah.
what you're saying is you haven't changed since middle school. You're still a bully making T-shirts saying, "Hey, be part of the Mean Girls Club, 515." Da, 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 da. I'm glad to see that hasn't changed as well. So do not go to that CrossFit. Go to CrossFit with Joe. Double X, double X, double XLR. Let's
Yes.
go.
So there's a history that I don't know about.
Oh, that's
We have,
episode one. You got to
yeah,
go back and watch
you
episode
got to go
one.
back and watch it.
We've been
We have known
friends.
each
We've been
other.
friends for 35 years. We went to school when we were little. Reconnected here a couple of years ago. in
Mhm.
Rochester, and we had been talking and getting together, and she works in HR, I work in administration, so there's been several humorous conversations along the way. And one day we were just like, we should just put this the test and put it out there and see what happens. And our first couple episodes, we got a lot of really good feedback in terms of like, hey, you guys should do this. You play well off each other. And then, every week we were only going to do it bi-weekly, and we've been trying to do it weekly because we've been having fun. Number one, I think. Number two, we still get pretty good deep feedback from people that listen to it. And I think having guests helps too. It drives more of the conversation. Like, I love learning what you're doing and what you're about. I think it's really cool. Last week we had Megan Rose, a comedian who's going to be doing an event for me, local Rochesterian comedian. We brought back some people that we went to high school with and elementary school with, talked about some nostalgia stuff. So it's just a cool platform to get out there. And, our goal is to grow it, like, subscribe, follow, all those kind of things. So hopefully it will grow. And it really is a nonsensical podcast. There's no rhyme or reason to it. We just show up and we want to have fun and just talk about daily life and hopefully make you laugh, make you cry, make you think a little. Probably not a lot, but think a little. So yeah, and so once again, thanks for coming on. I know we're ready for our last and final exciting topic. This is Jen's favorite. It's Cards Against Humanity. It's Questions for Humans. Oh, Questions for Humans.
Wait,
I
you
got
got
it.
it.
I got it. Questions for Humans.
Yeah.
And these either go really well or very left because she doesn't look ahead of time. So there's no cheating on this.
Oh man. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
So you asked a question, and then are we supposed to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
No
And
passing.
we'll let you go first since you're the guest.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
No
Here we
pressure,
go.
Casey.
No pressure. Now, speaking of making you think, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, geez.
Okay. That was stupid.
That one's a pass.
Okay.
She'll edit it out.
Oh, this is weird. Okay.
Wait, are you gonna ask me? Are you
It's
gonna ask me
coming.
a good one?
Yeah, it's
Here
coming.
we go.
Oh boy.
Would you be friends with your parents if they were your age today?
Oh, wow. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Well, they're not gonna watch this, so no. I mean, like, nah.
Wait a second. What do you mean they're not going to watch this?
Because I'm not gonna allow them to do that. So, and I don't know if my parents know what a podcast is actually. So there is that as well. But no, I wouldn't. We're definitely very different. So I don't know if I should say anything else. Like, okay, so my parents definitely had a lot of fun at the age that I'm at, and I am very much like a workhorse, very like goal driven, and I know I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't that way. And we're just a little different, that's all. So I like to surround myself with people that kind of have the same attitude towards life, and we don't align on some of those things. So I don't think we would be friends. I don't think we would be in the same circle.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
Believe it or not, I'm going to agree with Casey. And my dad does listen to it. So, I may get some feedback not so good. He does know what a podcast is. I don't know how much he listens or if he sleeps through half of it. So we'll see when I'm talking about this if he hears this piece. But I think my dad was similar to what you're saying. Some things we just wouldn't have probably clicked on in the high school times. Um, my mom, I'm similar to my mom, but I don't know that I would have been hanging out with her during that time. So yeah, it's a weird thing to think about, but I kind of agree just based on, you were raised by these people and they knew all the stuff that they did that wasn't right. And now you've turned into who you are as a person. You're like, whew, I would never do what they did, right? Like I'm my own person. So
Yeah.
I don't think you're far fetched in terms of that. Jen?
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. I like that.
So my mom and I were very similar personality wise people. Now, like when my mom was my age, she had 6 kids. Um, so I don't know that we would have had time to be friends because she was, but I do remember like that she always made time for shenanigans and things like that when I was little, and I would see her like with friends and stuff when she was around that age. So I do think that I would have been friends with my mom because I was friends with my mom, like as an adult, and um just I don't know, just because like she just loved life and she loved shenanigans and being silly and all the crazy things that I love, she loved. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely still be friends with her, and uh yeah, but I think when she was my age, she was probably really just head down focused on 6 kids. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, um so I don't know that she had too much time for that, but that's a really interesting question because, you know, I don't know.
Actually, now that you said it that way, I guess if I look at them when they were my age versus like I was thinking like in school, like high school and college. But I guess if I'm thinking if they're 46 right now,
Yeah.
I mean my parents, yeah, I mean I definitely would be friends with I mean my parents were both, I think they might have been just getting into the ministry at that time and doing some cool things. So, potentially, maybe I'll change my answer because I was thinking of it like when you were younger, would you hang out with your parents? Not at the age you're at now.
I think that's what they're asking. Would you be friends with your parents if they were your age today? So like
Yeah.
they're not your parents, they're like in your peer group, your age.
hmm.
Would you be friends with them?
Nah, my answer doesn't change. I'm staying the same.
He
Thought
stands.
about it.
He
I'm
stands
staying.
for what he said.
I'm standing on my ground, my
Final
laurels on
answer.
that. That's my final answer.
Well, I still stand with mine. Only because my mom loves shenanigans just as much as I love shenanigans. So, yeah.
I love that.
So, that was a really good question. So, Casey, what is um the main goal that you're working towards right now? How much longer do you have in 75 hard, by the way?
I'm on day 30. So
That would be 45 more days, Jen. In case
Thank
you're
you.
wondering.
Thank you.
That's another topic that was on another podcast that she's not good at math, so I had to help her get there. It's
She
fine.
knows. I can't she knows. She watches me try to like figure out how to do the barbell math, which is
okay.
extremely hard.
It is 5 in the morning. I get it. Girl, I get it. Doug had to count my
It's
plates this
life for
morning.
Jen. It's life for Jen.
Um, but right now the main goal, something I've been working on pretty much every single day is trying to get a new CrossFit movement. It's called a bar muscle up. Jenny saw I was working on that today. That's the main goal because the open is starting this weekend and then it goes into 3 weeks straight. So it's this week, next week, and the week after. And usually they're from years past, there's usually bar muscle ups in this one of those workouts. So I would love to just like whip one out out of nowhere. But that's definitely like the main goal right now is to um like for me physically is to get a bar muscle up. That would be amazing if I could do that.
That's what
Yeah,
the
and
guys
I
That's goal number one.
that's what the guys do when I work over the weekend. They bar muscle up a lot.
Yeah.
They
bar.
wrong kind of
No,
bar. Wrong kind of
no,
bar.
Wrong
wrong
part.
All
bar.
right.
Wrong bar.
Sorry, just
I'm
checking.
going to show a video of Casey doing the bar muscle up so everybody can get a sense of what she's talking about because this is a major accomplishment. Because what you don't realize is that CrossFit is a lot of weights and a lot of cardio and a lot of like high intensity stuff, but there's also this gymnastics element thrown in there, like not just sprinkled, thrown in there. And so Yeah, that makes things a little bit tricky, especially for somebody like me who doesn't really have that much coordination. So there's that.
So
Yeah.
So Casey,
awesome.
before we go, do you want to share your socials with everybody?
yeah. Gosh, I'm not prepared. Hold on. I should know them like off the back of my head, but I don't. So don't judge me.
Well, during this commercial break, while Casey looks up her socials, we are going to tell you that 75 Hard is brought to you today by Frito-Lay
Yes, which is so
and
contradicting.
guacamole Doritos.
Which I haven't tried yet, but I've heard good things.
We'll be sampling on the next 3 episodes.
Yes, I will make sure actually, Jen, to bring you some samples so you guys can try them on the show. So, all right, on TikTok you can find me at Casey Ann Henderson. And then on Instagram, you can find me at CaseyAnn_Henderson. A little bit fancier there, guys. And then on Facebook, you can just find me at Casey Ann Henderson. So it's basically the same, but one has an underscore. Yes, that part's over.
Jen, with her new editing skills, will throw those up there. It'll be nice. We'll get them all up there on IG, TikTok, and Facebook. Jen, any closing thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you, Casey, for coming and joining us today. I am so proud of you. First of all, so proud of you, and watching your transformation, and watching your energy change. And I even kind of secretly asked her, like, hey, everything okay? Like, I see some energy changes going on, and I pay attention to those things. And but seriously, it's really, really cool to see that progression in you. And especially coming back after being away for a while and being like, what the heck happened? And wait a minute, what? I mean, she just kicked her husband right out of my class. Like, boom, he's gone. He's not even allowed to come to CrossFit anymore. Like, he's gone.
Gave up to Scott. So
He's kicked out. And she took his place. So I might have to ask him to turn his shirt back in. I don't know.
Or hello, I will take it. I'll just steal it from him. How about that?
It's gonna be way too big for you. We'll work with our people, Ludi, to get you a proper shirt. But anyway, truthfully, I really just want to say that you're doing such a great job and you're so, so inspiring. And once I get back to being where I'm supposed to be, I am totally joining this 75 hard train and seeing what it's about, because I am so excited. I mean, I can't not do it watching you now. So, and I'm also going to convince my partner in crime here, Joe, to maybe do some sort of version of it. Just stand by. We'll figure it out.
I don't know how to read, which is the biggest problem in that whole challenge.
Well, maybe it can be an audiobook.
Picture books?
Yeah, sure.
That's all right, okay. Perfect.
Love that. I love that for you.
Right, it's fine. So anyway. Casey, thanks for joining us, Casey. On behalf of the Reality Check podcast, I'm Joe. Jen's with us. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Apple, iTunes, Amazon, and Spotify. And then you'll also see all the links for Casey Ann Henderson on here. We appreciate you again, Casey. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was so fun.
Bye.